Garment wearing during a workout.
I don't.
I'm for it.
The church's financial situation.
I think the church could improve.
Multiple piercings.
My mother wasn't even okay with my single navel piercing. If I had gotten 2, I think things would have been rough.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the show. Brett, Caitlin, and I, David, are talking about controversial things. Some more controversial than others. But so sometimes we do episodes where we respond to comments, and now we are responding with opinions to a variety of different topics.
Mm-hmm.
Very opinion-based episode. Okay, I'm going to start us off here. What do you guys think about the hymn in our lovely Deseret? Are we for it? Are we against it?
I think it's so weird, but I'm okay with it. But it is one of those things that, like, I'm always worried we sing it if, like, someone who's never been to our church comes to a church and we sing it. Then it's like, ugh.
That might be a little weird.
It's an antiquated relic and it should be removed in the next hymn book.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, my opinion is that...
Really? Do you feel that way?
I don't know. It's very specific to Utah. I don't think in a multicultural church it's needed anymore.
That's a fair
Maybe
take.
in the new hymn book that David has been waiting for so long.
I make so much content about the new hymn book. Okay, here's my argument. I agree that I think it's weird if, like, people unfamiliar with the church are there and we're singing in our lovely Deseret. But I'm going to vote that, unironically, it is a cult classic amongst Latter-day Saint hymns. It's like the Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventures of hymns. So I like it for that reason.
Okay.
All right.
It gives us a little bit of pizzazz.
Next one, if I may choose. Garment wearing during a workout.
I don't.
I'm for it.
When I go and I do the elliptical for 30 minutes and I'm sweating my guts out, oof.
See, my opinion
can't do
is
it.
like...
But I wear them every other instance in my life. But working out, I don't
judgment.
know.
No judgment on people who choose not to. But my opinion is like, if you're going to sweat either way, why not just wear your garments?
Because that's like 2 layers.
But isn't that also like the point of a workout is to like get nice and sweaty and exercise? It's like people who like,
I don't like
shave their
put on
legs
the
to go
spot, like,
running and you're like,
garments.
Isn't the point to be like challenged and meet resistance? So I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
I'll team up with David and gain up on Caitlin.
That's what I'm talking about.
It depends though. There are lots of workouts when I do wear them. Like when I play pickleball and stuff.
All right.
Like I don't take them off to play pickleball.
I just think
that's like pickleball.
I don't always as well. I think it's biddable effort though. And most of us just do it because like culturally, like our parents probably did or didn't.
Yep.
Caitlin, I think the topic next is yours.
Energy drinks.
I'm iffy. I don't think that you're not going to get reprimanded by the church for breaking the word of wisdom. But I think that in the spirit of the word of wisdom, it's probably not the most healthy choice. And I say that as a hypocrite because I make all kinds of unhealthy choices. I think the spirit of the word of wisdom is take care of your body. And that probably isn't the best way to do that. But I've also never actually had one, I don't think.
I feel like a hypocrite too because I think energy drinks are just like stay away from them. Like stay away from them if you have any sense in your body. Like stay away from those. But I also love yerba mate. It's almost an energy drink. That's a popular drink that they have in South America. It's a natural caffeine, and I like it.
I think Red Bulls smell delicious.
But I don't know. Like, when I see a Red Bull, it like, makes me mad. Like, I don't know. I just, like, I feel like people, I judge people that drink energy drinks. When I see them, I'm like, it makes me think of, like, no, I'm not going to go there.
That's why I keep my Red Bulls in the
I love you
basement.
if you drink energy drinks. I'm sorry. Huh? Go ahead.
I find Red Bulls delicious. That's the entirety of my opinion.
They're nasty. It tastes like cherry, like, medicine.
Delicious cherry medicine. All right, next one up in the ante, the church's financial situation.
I feel like I don't have enough knowledge to have an opinion.
I can hardly keep my own finances in order.
Caitlin folds.
I'm not in a great spot to judge the church.
I don't know.
I'll say that the church has not been in a great financial position for many, many decades. Like the success of the church financially is a fairly recent thing. I think that maybe they're still trying to figure it out. I think there's always room to improve. To improve. I also recognize though that like I have a hard time when some people are just like just give the money away, you know, like,
Right,
because
like-
you need an infrastructure to be able to do that.
You can't just like one and done.
Yeah, like you need a process, you need the manpower, you need a lot of, like, there are a lot of moving pieces and parts. So I think the church could improve, but I'm also not like out picketing on Temple Square because they have, you know, a large savings or investment fund.
What are your thoughts?
Agreed. Partly. I think the church could do more with that money and with those funds. And I'm curious to see if all this discussion of it will affect that. But yeah, if the church liquidized everything, like sold all of our chapels and did everything like that, and then passed it out to every U.S. citizen, it'd be like $280 per person. There's still a lot you could do with the money, but like it's not going to solve the world's problems.
I'm also of the opinion, though, that my decision to pay tithing is not conditioned upon how the church uses
important.
that tithing.
Yeah.
I
do it
feel the
'cause
same.
I feel it's a commandment.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
my money after I donate it, and I'm not like,
It's you expressing faith in God and his commandments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
okay. Cremation. How do we feel about cremation? I feel like in the past the church has discouraged it, but I think more recent policy is they've just kind of let people decide for themselves. But what do you
Really?
guys think?
In Japan.
I don't know too much, but I guess it's kind of like as the world gets more crowded, I feel like it's almost necessary.
I think it's the law in either Japan
Especially
or South
depending on where
Korea.
you live.
Really?
You don't have an option.
Yeah,
They don't allow
you don't have an option in
graveyards.
some places. I mean, I feel like we're gonna run out of ground to like bury people. Anyway.
Not in the US of A, but
I'm okay with it. I figure,
Just go out to the Midwest.
I figure your
giant
body's gonna,
cemeteries.
you know, your body's gonna rot in the grave either way. So
Why did the church make that policy? Do we know?
I don't know.
I
Or
always
was
thought
it a policy or was it just like a? Oh my gosh!
it was
I
in the
thought
handbook.
consejo.
It was in the
What's
handbook to discourage
What's
it.
this
Yeah.
non-Spanish?
It
word?
was an official discouragement.
It might be because
Okay.
you're buried in temple clothing, and maybe they felt weird about burning temple clothing. I don't know. That's just my speculation. But
Mine was
Huh,
it might make it
interesting.
harder to resurrect you. I don't know how
That's
that
what
goes.
I thought. I thought it was like making more work for Jesus to
Yeah.
resurrect you. But in my brain, I was like, that doesn't make sense.
And you know what
'Cause
visual
Jesus can do whatever he wants.
the visual that goes along with that to me is the Iron Giant when he gets blown up, but then all of his parts like come back together to
Oh.
assemble. Okay, this is a serious
I
subject,
love
but
that
that's
movie.
how I like
movie.
think of cremation.
Oh, I want to watch that movie now.
Anyways,
Multiple piercings.
mm,
As far as I understand, wasn't it mostly President Hinckley saying it in General Conference one time? Or is there an actual statement
I
in...
mean, it was in the Strength for Youth pamphlet.
Is it in the Strength of Youth
It
pamphlet?
was.
It
I
was,
don't-
and now it's not?
I don't think it specifically
I
is
doubt it.
anymore.
honestly, my mother wasn't even okay with my single navel piercing. If I had gotten two, I think things would have been rough.
Navel piercing?
Rough.
Ew.
I don't even know what to say. I would say
Don't take what he says seriously, ever.
Okay, this might be
Say it.
I'm
Say
gonna
it,
get in
David.
trouble. Okay, I think that like because the principle is like your body's sacred, right? And don't mess it up. Don't mess with it. And a piercing is a like relatively minor thing, right? So I'm not gonna like die on this hill. But I think that I always thought it was interesting that the church was like, you can have one set of piercings, but not two. And I'm like, but with one, you're still poking holes in your body, right? Like what?
Like how is too much worse than one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like my thought was like, well, why don't we just say discourage any of it? Like not even one. Or like pick one or the other. Like say like not even one, or say like, yeah, just be judicious in your choices. And I think that's where we ended up, is just be judicious in your choices.
I'll summarize that. I think David's trying to say no piercings is the higher law.
That's what I'm saying.
Canceled.
That's what I'm saying. No, but I do think that it's important, and I like that the church lets people choose. I will say that on this subject. I appreciate that the church says you make your own decision and do what you feel is best.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't really have a problem with them. I'm just wondering if I would like do it myself, because I'm kind of like scared to pierce any higher up on my ear, or anywhere else for that matter. I don't really like piercings anywhere else though, like on the nose and like.
That could
I
be
feel
another
like it's
video.
not. I feel like it's not like. I don't personally love it, but I don't know. I just remember like my mom, she has 2 piercings in each ear because that's what they were doing. Like everybody did that before, I think President Hinckley said something, and then she took the earrings out and didn't use them anymore, but she'll still like put earrings in her ear and will accidentally put them in the upper hole, like miss. She's like, oh, those holes are still there. Anyway, I don't know. I would do it. But yeah, it's kind of what you said. It's more of a
I would
want thing.
I would personally not be like encouraging if I had a daughter to like go get a bunch of piercings, but I respect people's decisions and ability to choose for themselves.
I would vote for cosmetic surgery.
Oh gosh.
As a man, this is a lot
This is a big
easier
one in
to
Utah.
form an opinion on.
Yeah, what are you gonna say?
Other than having my ears done, I've never had any work. Aside from that,
Your ears.
What?
I got yours done?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, they were just
Don't
like
take
really
anything
far
he says
out.
seriously.
No,
Again,
kidding.
what I'm
That's a
saying.
thing, though.
It is.
Yes.
I have not had my ears done.
90% of what he says, don't
That is a
believe
gross
it.
overestimation.
No.
I would say like 40, maybe 50, 90.
Oh my gosh.
On a serious note, my principle is it's good. Just like, sometimes you feel you're getting obsessed with your appearance and it just becomes like another idol before God. So I think you've got to work this one out spiritually, you know?
Yeah, pick and choose what you want to do here.
Ooh, I have a good one. Can I?
Share
May
it.
I?
Yes.
Having a man speak last in Sacrament
I don't even know what
Meeting.
that means.
So generally, like you've got like the youth speaker, and then oftentimes there will be a married couple that speaks.
Does
in
the man
Sacrament
always
Meeting.
speak last?
Generally, it's not. I don't think it's like a policy or anything because. So
I
this
guess,
leads into my.
I guess like if they're, especially if you do a fireside or like a devotional and there's like a visiting authority, usually their wife will speak and then they'll speak.
Yeah.
Or like, yeah.
There might be something in a handbook or the Doctrine and
I
Covenants.
always just thought it was because it usually ends with like the general authority who's there. But I don't know. If they're doing that in Sacrament Meeting, like what the heck? Why are you doing that?
I think that's like maybe you just haven't noticed, but like note it next time and see if it's happening in your ward because I feel like it happens like pretty nationwide. Not always though. Not always though.
That's interesting. I'm gonna pay attention to that.
I think it's just a tradition in the church that, but I think it kind of creates like an attitude of like we are culminating to the most important speaker at the end of the meeting. And if that is kind of the sentiment, then I think that should be squashed. But I also know that it's not like a hard policy because I have participated in organizing some meetings and I have intentionally put the sister, the female speaker last and have not been met with any challenge to that. I'll offer my wife, like the last couple of times we've spoken, I've said, do you want to speak last? And she always says no because she wants to get it over with.
Yeah.
And I get that. Like I'd like to get it over with as well. But yeah, I'm all for getting rid of that tradition.
Yeah.
Simultaneously, it's a construct that maybe we're reading too much into.
Could be.
Like if we're splitting hairs on like speaking position or speaking order, I think you might be being a little oversensitive. Personally.
Well, you're wrong.
I'm not gonna like defend it, but if that is what keeps you up at night.
If it's keeping you up at night.
Yeah. I'm really curious about this one, guys. Amazon shopping on Sunday or just ordering anything on Sunday.
Let he who has not committed the sin cast the first stone.
I do it.
I think that there's a lot of like,
but I don't know if I should be doing it. But I do it. I don't know why.
It's like the same idea. Like, can you go to Redbox on a Sunday? Because like you're not technically like.
Does David go to Redbox on Sundays?
No, okay.
I know. I get the principle.
Or
I get
any
what you're
day?
saying.
Redbox is the best place to buy DVDs. If you want a hard copy of a DVD, go to Redbox. Super
Buy it?
discounted.
Cool.
They sell DVDs at the Redboxes.
That's cool.
Don't do it in Utah though, because that's my territory to do that. Anyway, but yeah, because like the idea is like you don't want to cause people to have to work on Sunday, right? Like you want to give people the opportunity to keep Sabbath day holy. But if you're like at a Redbox or Amazon, like
or
are
if you get
causing
gas,
people? I'm kind of neutral.
but I feel
on
like
this
you're
one.
more stronger about this. I don't. Do you order anything on Sundays? I don't think you do.
I don't just like having my phone out. It just like kind of pulls me away from any gospel thought. Like I'm ordering things online or like looking like what's deficient or like what do we need to refill? Like, oh, have I organized this? Did I email that person? Maybe like inherently bad or not. I won't make a judgment, but they just pull me away from any gospel centered thoughts. They just decrease the Jesus time. And so I think you shouldn't.
What if you only buy gospel-oriented items on Sunday?
I like
Does that change it?
No, David.
Okay. I don't know. I think that I'm kind of inconsistent when it comes to this one, because sometimes it'll be like 10 o'clock at night on Sunday, and I'll be like, well, if I order something now, the order's not going to go through until 7 a.m. the next day, right? Like nobody's going to be doing anything until tomorrow, so it's fine. But I don't know.
Way to think that through, David.
I know. I haven't even thought about that.
I have a very guilty conscience sometimes, so I have to talk my way around
I think in ancient
sorry.
Israel's time, the Sabbath began when the sun went down. No, it ended when the sun went down. So it started when the sun rose.
Yeah.
I definitely did that as a teenager, like out on Saturday nights, thinking about when I was going to get fries at McDonald's. If it was after midnight, I was like,
but then
okay.
What happens if a BYU game goes into overtime Saturday night?
They have said they would honor their
Sunday.
commitment, just so you know.
What does that mean?
The church released a statement one time when a BYU game almost went like over midnight to Sunday. Like the church would they'd play.
Oh, okay.
They'd keep going. They wouldn't just like
Interesting.
stop and walk off the
official
field.
Statement?
Yeah, because people wanted to know.
Good to know.
It was like the spirit of the law versus the letter of the law a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Like I feel more unsettled after this episode than I think maybe I have ever before, because I try to stick with the doctrine, but like, don't ask me about my opinions. makes me uncomfortable.
Maybe that's a lesson
David
in and of
doesn't like it.
itself.
Let us know what you guys think about these thoughts that we've talked about.
Okay, bye.
Bye.